I'm just predicting it will be awesome in advance. You can judge for yourself what the level of awesomeness was. My name is Tiffany, and I have a Hello Kitty addiction. Welcome to the fellow addicts here. I have been a Hello Kitty fan for quite some time. Many of you guys will know Hello Kitty's been around for many, many years, 1974. What I had the opportunity to do just about a week ago was really the culmination of my whole Hello Kitty fandom. Really kind of a dream come true, to be honest with you. I finally got to go to Puroland, which was the first Sanrio theme park. It's in Tama, which is a 40-minute train ride west of Tokyo. It's all indoor theme park. I wish I had like some kind of slideshow presentation where I could show you some of my pictures from there, but it was awesome. It looks like a big castle from the outside. Everything's entirely indoors. Wow. Could we, is it okay to close the door?
Yeah.
Okay, that would be great. Anyway, it's very different from what you would be used to probably at a normal theme park or one that you've been to before, in that there was really only one ride. It was this boat ride, which the boat ride was very, very cool. You go through all these little areas with a lot of the famous characters, little vignettes of the characters, and some of them are kind of moving a la It's a Small World sort of thing. Mostly it shows the characters in different shows, and of course the shows are performed in Japanese, and I don't really understand a whole lot of Japanese. There'd be like one or two words here and there, oh, I know what they just said there. Or you get like the little synopsis when you go in and then kind of try to follow along. I was still mesmerized by all of it, and it was still fantastic, even though I didn't understand most of what they were saying. And there's Hello Kitty's house that you go through, and it's like a house that's set up that Hello Kitty lives there. At the end, you get your picture taken with Hello Kitty. So it's awesome. But really, the best thing for me was that I got to go there with a dear friend of mine, Yuko Miyamura, who was, if you guys are familiar with Evangelion, that's kind of like the thing that I'm most well known for, is having played this character Asuka in Evangelion, and Yuko Miyamura was the Japanese voice actor for Asuka, and we went there together with her little 4-year-old daughter, Sukika, who is precious. She had this little princess dress there, little tiara that she was wearing, like, so cute. And this is not the way my Hello Kitty panel usually goes, but this is a whole new Hello Kitty story I'm sharing with you today. So when I first arrived, when I first met her there at Puroland, the first thing that happened was that her little daughter, Sukika, sang for me in English, "Happy birthday to you," and then she gave me a present that Yuko had bought for me, which is, I'm going to show you, it's so exciting. This watch right here, it's a new line that they have, some watches, mostly just like watches, purses, wallets. It's called Shirley Kitty, and it's sort of inspired by the famous child star from the 30s and 40s, Shirley Temple. And they don't like have pictures of Shirley Temple. Hello Kitty isn't dressed as Shirley Temple with ringlets or anything, but you see it's got these little bows in there anyways. It's awesome watch. That's me every day. Yeah, there was a lot of jumping around and skipping by me. I was super, super, super excited, and it was awesome. The only thing I can say that was disappointing is that I'm used to, like, when I go to touristy places, and not just in America, but places that I've been, like in Canada, Australia, a lot of different places, you get a t-shirt, right? Don't you? I mean, you go to Disneyland or wherever you go, and then you get the t-shirt. They don't have any freaking t-shirts. I wanted to so be sitting here doing this panel for you wearing my Puroland t-shirt, and there are none. They do not exist. I think they're really missing out on a gold mine of opportunity here, is what I have to say to you. What they had instead was a lot of like really nice designer children's clothing, and then in this kind of upstairs boutique area, which by the way, they do have like the biggest Sanrio store in the world. It's freaking enormous. But this little boutique area that they had with sort of high-end stuff for adults, and there were designer t-shirts in there that were like 75 or 80 bucks. So I said, and they weren't even like Puroland shirts, they were just t-shirts, so I had to pass up on that. Something interesting I saw there that I think you would not ever see in a Sanrio store here is like fancy cigarette lighters. Probably would not see that in a store here, but a lot of people smoke in Japan, so it's kind of more acceptable. But anyway, my original introduction to Hello Kitty was back in probably 1976 when Hello Kitty was introduced to North America. The Hello Kitty character goods started getting released in Japan like 1975, so we're about a year behind. And there was kind of this period during the late 70s, early 80s where Hello Kitty was gaining some popularity in the US. And there was like Toys R Us, some Hallmark stores, there were some places where you could find it, but it wasn't too widespread. And then there was kind of this period where there wasn't a whole lot of Hello Kitty, sort of maybe kind of mid-80s through early 90s. And then there was suddenly kind of this upsurge where it just became, I mean, anybody here who could remember, like from around the early 90s, you can kind of remember this time period where suddenly it's spreading and it's in more and more places. And you know, I bought this shirt a few years ago in Target, and I'm sure if anybody goes into Target, you know, they have tons of Hello Kitty stuff in there. Super reasonably priced, yay. So it's really interesting to see kind of that cycle of how it's gone, but really since it kind of got reintroduced here in the early 90s, it's been on a very steady incline where it's been going upwards, and I think that they've done a really good job of brand management because one of the things that they didn't want to do, you know, my resources here, one of the things that they wanted to do is manage it because they don't want a phenomenon that's like Beanie Babies or Pokemon cards where for 6 months or a year, everybody's going crazy for it. They have to have those Beanie Babies. They've got to have the Pokemon cards, you know. They want it to be where it's a growing thing that continues to like steadily increase in popularity, not that we'll just kind of have this one big explosion and then goes away.